Right now at 6, a U-Haul fails to clear a train overpass.
And we've got scattered showers, even a couple of rumbles of thunder possible as we head through our Monday. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, mothers against drunk driving partner with police to enforce saturation Saturday to help stop DWIs.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Monday, August the 25th. Happy Monday.
Yes, absolutely.
So you had yourself a 3-day weekend. Was it fun? It was enjoyable.
It was. Just saw some family over the weekend. So it was a nice, cool weekend.
It certainly was. It was not bad. I opened up some windows, gave the AC a bit of a break. Not too bad. And you're going to be able to do that again, except with the rain. If you've got a window where the rain gets in, maybe don't open that one. But I don't know why I slammed that. That was not my intention. Well, anyway, it's going to be a pretty decent day. With rain, at least, our temperatures are almost 20 degrees below average today. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh before I end up breaking this thing unintentionally. Still dry in Pittsburgh again for now, but before too much longer, it will start raining. Same in Joplin, 7th and Range Line. It's dry temporarily. And here's why we say temporarily. Look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Got some showers out there. We've had some rumbles of thunder. Also bear in mind, one of the more important things is the Skywatch Storm Tracker, the lightning detector, does not pick up on cloud-to-cloud lightning, only cloud-to-ground. So you may be hearing some rumbles of thunder, and it's not showing up on here simply because it's cloud-to-cloud. And it's more rain today versus thunderstorm chances, but we could get some rumbles of thunder. So we've got this little shower that's near We're south of Pittsburgh. You see light showers trying to start to push in. Lamar, you're getting in on the rain. Golden City's up next. Fort Scott, Nevada, all getting in on these showers. In fact, the 54 corridor, it's now starting to push a little further south of the 54 corridor back toward Allen County, but still around Humboldt, Elsmore, Stark, Chanute, rain building in out there. Yates Center just socked into the middle of some moderate showers. And again, we're not expecting anything severe. And as I mentioned, this is mainly a rain event, but some rumbles of thunder are not out of the question. We'll continue to see some of this try and build in. And if you look close enough, you'll see where there were some little lightning strikes here and there that were picked up. We'll get new development that will take place. You can see how the rain's getting heavier and thicker up around Hayes, stretching back towards Salina, and that will continue to push southeast into our area, leading to this rain chances for almost all of us through most of today. And that's why we're going to be 20 degrees below average in many locations. Some of us 18 degrees below normal, but still it's below normal. We should be 89 for our average high, and that's not going to be the case. The last of the shower storms wrapping up by about 8, maybe a couple of stray showers hanging on, but will begin to dry out progressively through the evening. 63 both Joplin and in Pittsburgh right now, and take a look at these temperatures out there. Just crazy. I haven't seen any 50s yet, but man, you got them close. Nevada, the cool spot right now at 60 degrees. The rest of us low to mid 60s for the most part. So kids getting on the bus, scattered shower storms out there, low 60s. Even if it's not raining where you are, when they get on the bus, still send them with that umbrella because it will be later today. Near 70 by lunchtime and about 70 by the time that bus brings them home. Not a lot of movement on these temperatures. So mid 60s by 9, upper 60s by noon. Most of us should at least reach highs in the low 70s. Up north as the rain ends, if you get a little more sunshine, could get close to the mid 70s. And then down south where the rain lasts a little longer, you may not make it out of the upper 60s today. And we'll have an east breeze 5 to 10. So a great taste of fall. The trade-off is some rain, which is not necessarily a bad thing. We're going to talk about how long these cool temperatures are going to last and when our next round of rain will get here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll check in with you soon. Thanks, Phil. Yesterday afternoon in Newton County, a U-Haul failed to clear a train overpass. The crash happened at Highway C in Missouri 86. The U-Haul was traveling northbound and was going fast enough that it destroyed the front top of the box, causing 6 to 8 feet to be crushed and pulled back. Upon arrival, the fire department could hear a westbound train idling. It was notified to stop so the overpass could be inspected by railroad officials. The overpass was inspected and determined to be safe for use. The train then continued to the west and all traffic resumed. Missouri State Highway Patrol says the driver of the U-Haul was not injured. A saturation Saturday organized by Mothers Against Drunk Driving took place across southwest Missouri. Law enforcement agencies used the weekend before Labor Day to target DWI officers with extra officers in patrol. Later on the KOAM Morning News, we hear from moms bringing awareness to the issue. Well, in Missouri, at least 2 people were killed in multiple shootings in downtown Kansas City. Officers responded to a report of multiple shootings around 3:30 early yesterday morning. When crews arrived, they found 5 gunshot victims. One male victim was pronounced dead on scene. A second male victim later died from his injuries at a nearby hospital.
I look at where this occurred, and this is where Kansas City comes to celebrate. This is where we come to gather, and it's been stained by violence. This is unacceptable for our city, and I hope everyone understands the gravity that this situation holds and that we take this seriously.
Now, at this time, there are no reports of suspects or any arrests. And in Texas, Republicans have passed legislation to redraw the state's congressional map to give the party a 5-seat edge during next year's midterm elections. As CBS's Christian Benavides reports, California Democrats are planning to do the same to offset the gains by Texas.
House Bill 4 is finally passed.
The Texas legislature has given final approval to new congressional maps designed to give Republicans an additional 5 seats in the House of Representatives for the 2026 midterms. Republican Governor Greg Abbott plans to sign the legislation as soon as it reaches his desk.
There were voters that were trapped in Democrat congressional districts who voted for Republicans for president and other offices. So we had the legal authority to be able to draw the new maps to empower voters to have the candidate of their choice.
President Trump celebrated the vote, calling it a huge victory for our America First agenda. But Democrats in Texas plan to challenge the legality of the new map, saying it dilutes the voting power of minorities.
Tell us whether or not there was any analysis by the top-notch lawyers as it relates to discriminatory effects of this particular map.
And I have confidence in that analysis is that this map complies with all applicable law.
And in California, Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom is now pushing a plan to redraw its own map to favor Democrats.
They took an action in Texas and we're responding to it.
A new poll shows 48% of Californians backing Governor Newsom's plan to redraw maps. 32% oppose it, with 20% undecided. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
California Democrats want to put the issue up for a vote in a special election on November 4th, hoping to avoid court challenges. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, President Trump threatens to deploy the National Guard to other major U.S. cities. Plus, from concert films to series cancellations to new action movies. Take a look at today's Hollywood Minute, and we are tracking rain chances for today. Chris has a look at your 10-day forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 6:08. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning, there are now more than 2,000 National Guard troops patrolling the nation's capital, and some of them are now carrying weapons. It comes as President Trump is facing growing criticism from local officials after he threatened to deploy the National Guard to other major U.S. cities. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has more from New York.
Armed National Guard troops were spotted Sunday in Washington, D.C. A military official tells CBS News that some service members, likely fewer than 50, may carry their service weapons. And the Joint Task Force in D.C. adds that use of force would only be allowed as a last resort and in response to imminent death or bodily harm.
When we're ready, we'll go in.
The escalation comes as President Trump has threatened to deploy the National Guard to other major cities.
I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York.
Prompting backlash over the weekend.
The city of Chicago does not need a military occupation. It would be, again, a clear, flagrant violation of the Constitution and federal laws.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson points to a 13% drop in crime in the Windy City since last year, according to Chicago police statistics. The president also took aim at Maryland's Governor Wes Moore yesterday, posting on social media, "If Wes Moore needs help, I will send in the troops and quickly clean up the crime." Moore on CBS News Face the Nation.
While the president is spending his time from the Oval Office
making jabs and attacks at us. There are people actually on the ground doing the work who know what supports would actually work to continue to bring down crime.
The president described Baltimore, Maryland's largest city, as crime-ridden, though Moore points to police data showing that crime there fell more than 20% since last year. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
President Trump and Governor Moore's war of words continued on social media yesterday, with the president declining the governor's invitation to take a walk around Maryland streets citing crime, though the president did visit with National Guard troops stationed in Washington, D.C. last week. Well, still to come, a Prince concert digitally remastered. Join us for today's Hollywood Minute. Plus, Chris takes another look at your Monday forecast. We'll be right back. Good morning. I'm Elise Snowy with your KOAM News update. Downtown Kansas City becomes a crime scene as multiple shootings claim 2 lives and injure 3 others. The Sunday morning violence prompts a major police response, but no arrests have been made. Newton County officials respond to a crash when a U-Haul failed to clear a train overpass. The impact crushes the truck's top and triggers safety protocols that halt train traffic for bridge inspections. The driver avoids serious injury in the high-speed collision.
And we've got scattered shower and thunderstorm chances out there for us. The thunderstorm chances are pretty low, but you could get a rumble of thunder or two. Should at least make the low 70s, but some of us may only make the upper 60s, putting us anywhere 15 to 20 degrees below normal today. Any lingering shower storms are done by about 8 o'clock this evening. Partly cloudy overnight and chilly, especially for August, mid-50s out there. And this fall-like weather's going to stick around. Now, tomorrow and Wednesday, we're going to get a little more sunshine through the day, so we'll warm up into the upper 70s and low 80s, but again, average high is 89, so still well below average. In fact, we won't be average for quite some time. We got more rain Wednesday night, Thursday, and Friday into the holiday weekend, and then drying out and still below normal as we roll into the next work week.
Well, a huge music star hits the biggest movie screens. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Prince in IMAX. Prince, Sign of the Times, the superstar's self-directed 1987 concert film, has been digitally remastered and is set to be re-released in IMAX theaters for 1 week beginning Friday. More info and tickets at imax.com/Prince.
You stay the course, you'll be fine.
Not so much. Back in April, Paramount announced it was renewing Dexter: Original Sin for a 2nd season. Now, according to Variety and The Hollywood Reporter, the studio is not going forward with the prequel series, but it is making plans to extend the follow-up series, Dexter: Resurrection. The finale of that show's 1st season is set for September 5th.
My daughter is caught up in something, and I'm afraid it's my fault.
Max Martini plays a disgraced investigator searching for his daughter in Hollywood Grit. Tyrese Gibson and Patrick Duffy also star in the period action flick, which is now playing in limited release. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, certainly a lot to keep an eye on. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're starting with a live look downtown Pittsburgh, where again, for the time being, the roads are still dry. Some light showers starting to build in, and a few more moderate showers out there as well. Could get a couple of rumbles of thunder today. We'll go over all of those details with you and tell you how much longer this fall-like weather will last when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 6:17. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:19 now on this Monday morning, and we are starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got some shower activity all across the region, just kind of cutting us into a third up here and 2/3 down here with this rain. Again, nothing significant out there, and we're not expecting any severe weather. Could get some rumbles of thunder. You may even be hearing some this morning, but just a reminder, the Skywatch Storm Tracker, again, it only just shows cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. It does not show cloud-to-cloud lightning strikes, so you might be hearing some thunder even though there's no lightning showing up on the Skywatch Storm Tracker this morning. These showers, again, continuing to push off to the south and east out there, and we'll get more activity that'll build in out to our west and eventually also sink south and east and bring us more rain. What does that rain look like? Well, it looks like a lot of rain on the future track, which is good because parts of the area we're starting to go back into drought conditions, especially along and south of I-44. So this rain will certainly help over the next next several days. In fact, unfortunately, we'll talk about Thursday in a minute. We may be getting a little too much rain in some places. So for today, as we go into the afternoon, again, scattered showers, few rumbles of thunder out there will be possible. They'll begin coming to an end from north to south. So that's why some of our northern counties, depending on how much clearing you do before sunset, you might get closer to like 74 degrees out there for your high, maybe 75, but most of us will not be that warm. In fact, some of us will be 20 degrees below average. In our Tuesday, last week, the extended future track picked up on the rain, but kept it south and west of us. It really seems to be the case again, even on the short range future track now. It showed a couple of showers possible in northeast Oklahoma tomorrow. I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's like a 2 to 3% chance at best. Our next big round of rain actually won't even start working in until late Wednesday into Thursday. So we'll spend a good portion of our Wednesday rather, dry and partly cloudy. So between tomorrow and Wednesday, we get a southerly wind in here by Wednesday, and that will allow us to be a little warmer, but not significantly so. All right, so scattered showers, storms through the morning. You can see how cloudy it is already in Joplin. Mid-60s to start, upper 60s by 11. These temperatures barely moving through the day. Eventually, again, most of us should at least make the low 70s. Our southern counties, where it may stay a little wetter, a little longer, a little cloudier, may only make the upper 60s. That's where you'll be upwards of 20 degrees below normal because their average high is 89. I'll have an east breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Again, last of the showers should wrap up by about 8 o'clock this evening. Well below normal again tonight, mid-50s. So honestly, cold for August. The last week of August, that is almost cold compared to where we should be. Partly cloudy skies. Now, late Wednesday into Thursday, we'll get some scattered showers and thunderstorms once again. However, see how some of that didn't move for an extended period? Now you see the yellows and the oranges here. It's some heavy rain. So right now, no flood watches in place as we roll into Thursday, but it is something we're watching as we could get quite a bit of rain from Wednesday night into Thursday, and then we'll have some additional scattered shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into Friday. So again, tomorrow, Wednesday, a little more sunshine, still below normal, but warmer, upper 70s, low 80s. You will not find an average high on this thing for the next several days as we're into the upper 70s, low to mid 80s. The holiday weekend, you can see we have the rain chances, but also take note that at least right now, they're low chances, so don't cancel your plans. Just be prepared to move into a dry location if you get caught under a stray shower or storm. And again, temperatures remaining below normal. That's Check Your Forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, air pollution from oil and gas is killing 91,000 people in the U.S. annually and causing hundreds of thousands of health issues. A University College London study found cancer, preterm births, and asthma are just some of the illnesses linked to air pollution from oil and gas, primarily from burning fossil fuels. The states with the biggest health impacts are New Jersey, New York, California, and Maryland. Well, a new Swedish study shows how diabetes affects men and women differently. It found young men with type 2 diabetes have a higher risk of death and cardiovascular disease than type 1 diabetes patients. But for women, type 1 diabetes is deadlier. Researchers say women with type 1 diabetes often develop the disease young, which increases their lifetime risk of cardiovascular problems. But men with type 2 diabetes tend to have obesity, high blood pressure, and unhealthy lifestyles, which makes the disease more aggressive. Well, excessive so-called hidden fat can age your heart faster. A study in London found visceral adipose tissue, which is fat found deep in the abdomen, around the stomach, intestines, and liver, is linked to accelerated aging of the heart and blood vessels. Now, this type of fat can't be seen from the outside, meaning some people can have lots of visceral fat even if their weight is healthy. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, a look at the 4 States Wedding Expo.
And we've got scattered showers, even a few rumbles of thunder out there. We're going to take a look at your forecast, talk about these rain chances and this very fall-like weather coming up.
Plus, Pittsburgh drivers may have seen an uptick in road work, what the city has planned.
The 4 States Most Watched News starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:28. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Monday, August the 25th. Happy Monday to you all, and hopefully everybody had a good weekend, a great weekend.
How about yourself there, Chris?
Not bad, not bad at all. And hopefully we're able to, get outside and enjoy it, because while today is going to be much cooler, it's going to be a little soggier. You may not be able to get out and enjoy it nearly as much, but that's okay. We're going to start with a live look from downtown Pittsburgh, where it's cloudy and it still looks to be dry. It is difficult to say for sure from this camera angle here, but we do have more showers on the way. Our camera, 7th and Range Line. Again, we've got those cloudy skies out there to start the day, but again, dry in Joplin for now. However, take a look. We got these showers out there, maybe even a rumble of thunder south of Stockton, back toward Greenfield rather, in Arcola. Lamar, you just got out of some showers. You get some other ones right on the north side. Nevada, you've been dealing with some moderate showers for quite some time now. Same back toward Fort Scott. Girard, just north of you. Pittsburgh, same deal. That rain is on the way back toward Erie, Chanute, Iola, Yates Center. Additional showers out there. And remember, on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, for its lightning detection, it only picks up on cloud to ground lightning, not cloud to cloud. So you may hear some rumbles of thunder. And our thunderstorm chances, and I want to emphasize that, the thunderstorm chances are pretty low. They're going to be isolated, widely scattered. But the rain chances are better. We're just not looking at much in the way of thunderstorm activity, which then goes into, we'd also have no severe threat out there for us today either. All right, so here's the future track. We'll have more scattered showers, few thunderstorms here and there by noon, and they'll continue across the region into the afternoon and evening hours, gradually coming to an end from north to south as this activity slides on out, with the last of this wrapping up by about 8 o'clock this evening. Now, because of how it's going to end, some of our northern counties may be a bit warmer than those to the south, just depending on how much sunlight you get before sunset after the clouds begin to clear a bit. Chilly start though, 63 both Joplin and Pittsburgh, and take a look, it's cooler off to our north and east there, but we've got 60 in Fort Scott as the cool spot out there. We've got some otherwise low to mid 60s for most of us, so kids getting on the bus. As you saw on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, rain's not all over the area yet, so if it's not raining where you are when the kids get on the bus, make sure you still send them with an umbrella, because it will be raining later. Low 60s this morning, scattered showers and storms by lunch and recess, so probably doing that inside. Upper 60s, and then about 70 by the time that bus brings them home. And you saw on the bus stop forecast there, the school forecast, temperatures didn't move a lot. They really don't. Mid 60s by 9, upper 60s by noon. Most of us should at least make the low 70s. Those of you might get a little more clearing up north, might end up making low to mid 70s. And some of our southern counties where the rain sticks around a little later into the evening, you may only make the upper 60s, putting you about 20 degrees below average. Average high this time of year, 89, and we are nowhere near that. Not that that's a bad thing. We're going to talk more about our rain chances, because we have more rain later this week, and we'll tell you how long this nice fall-like weather will last here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, last month, PSU student and softball player Kendall Forbes was involved in a collision that ejected her from a car, resulting in life-threatening injuries, including head trauma. Yesterday, community members came together for a benefit to support her journey to healing. With a $10 donation at the door, the event featured a silent and live auction, a raffle, and live musical performances. And as you can see, the Pittsburgh community showed up in waves to give their support.
We really didn't even have to reach out to anybody. People just came to us out of the blue once they heard that we were starting this. So it's just been, we're very fortunate to live in the community like we do.
Now, those close to Kendall in attendance say she's getting better every day, but still has a long road to recovery. Mothers Against Drunk Driving is partnering with law enforcement for Saturation Saturday. The goal is to help save lives on the roads and raise awareness about the dangers of driving drunk ahead of the Labor Day holiday weekend. Chris Bryant looks into this safety initiative.
In 2024, over the Labor Day weekend, the Missouri State Highway Patrol says that 7 people died on Missouri roadways from drunk driving. In addition, the Highway Patrol made 108 arrests for DUI across the state.
Sheila Lockwood knows the pain of losing a child to a drunk driver.
The devastation after someone that you love is taken from a crime that is so preventable. And, he was healthy, happy. He had just graduated college. He was on his way to having a very happy, healthy, loving life. And it was ripped away from all of us. And there is not one day that has gone by in the last 20, almost 700 days that I haven't cried and missed him.
This weekend, MAD will partner with more than 100 law enforcement agencies across the state for Saturation Saturday. MAD staff and volunteers will join forces with officers and deputies to reinforce the life-saving message: if you drink, don't drive.
People make horrible decisions when they drink, and that's why it's really important before you go out and start to party, before you go out and have that first drink, make sure you've planned for a safe ride home.
Currently, the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign is underway.
Anything can happen out here on these highways. Any type of situation can occur. So, I mean, let's don't add more to that to make it even more difficult to get from point A to point B.
Sheriff Cass Martin says leaving your vehicle at a location because you are impaired is a good option. Just get permission from a property owner or let police know you are leaving your vehicle.
It's a win-win. Get home safely, keeping yourself safe and others safe on the road. I don't see why this is such an issue.
MAD says while education and enforcement help, the laws and punishments need to be stronger to discourage drinking and driving.
People will be, picked up for drunk driving or impaired driving and end up getting a slap on the wrist. Maybe it's changed to speeding or reckless driving or whatever it may be, but it's not fixing the problem. And we have got to do a better job as society to fix this problem.
In the state of Missouri, you're considered over the legal limit if you're 21 years of age and have a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08. However, if you're under 21 years of age, that blood alcohol concentration limit drops to 0.02. On your first offense for a conviction of DUI, you could face up to 6 months in jail, fines of around $500, and suspension of your license for 30 days.
As of early yesterday morning, DWI arrests in the Joplin city limits for almost double digits at 12:30 a.m. Well, upcoming brides and grooms had the opportunity to learn more about the wedding industry in a one-stop shop. The 4 States Wedding Expo in Joplin is the biggest wedding event in the area, with more than 50 wedding professionals from across the region. From cake tasting to flowers, the expo has the latest in wedding trends and inspiration to cover every aspect of your special day, including the ones that you might not think of.
Through the process, you start to think about, like, oh yeah, we could use one of those, or that's really fun, and it sparks like this connection between the couple that they decide they want to do something fun and new that they haven't seen at a different wedding or anything like that. Sometimes also then it's like a need, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, we're having a backyard.
Every pre-registered guest at the expo was also entered into a prize drawing for a $1,000 gift certificate to the Dress Bridal. Well, the street sales tax program has proven to be a success, with more roads in Pittsburgh under repair. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more information about the renovations.
If you live in Pittsburgh, you may have noticed an increase of road work. The road work is being completed with funds from the street sales tax program and the Kansas Department of Transportation.
So the city has a street sales tax program that helps support our maintenance activities for our roadways. Inside of the town, we maintain around 320 lane miles of streets within the city limits. The sales tax, it's a pay-as-you-go program. We're able to, as we collect those funds, we spend those funds back into our streets. That works as a combination between both city crews and hired contractors for some of our larger projects. We're also able to utilize those tax dollars with other KDOT funds to help facilitate our other street projects for CCLIP projects.
Projects range from resurfacing to full-on rehabilitation, with funds being stretched the best they can across projects.
So we continue to maintain a pool of projects within the city, different quadrants within the city. We like to highlight those on our website. There's an interactive map where you can see previous projects that have been done. We continue to review projects in condition assessment, as well as traffic and neighborhoods, and try to just distribute it as best we can for whatever the need is, and there's a lot of need.
All in all, the main focus for the city is to continue repair on roads that have a true need for it.
Overall, the city's street sales tax has passed 3 times now to continue support for this program. City staff does a great job with the resources we have, and overall it's been a positive for our community.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
According to the city of Pittsburgh, the cost to build one block of new road ranges from $180,000 to $240,000 for concrete and $150,000 to $210,000 for asphalt. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Find out how much you could win by playing the Powerball. Plus, is your favorite Bluebell ice cream flavor being recalled? We'll find out next. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 6:38. We'll be right back.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms out there for us. Temperatures 15 to 20 degrees below normal into the low 70s. No severe weather expected out of any of this activity. It should wrap up by about 8 this evening, going partly cloudy overnight, well below average again, and chilly, mid-50s. Dry and warmer Tuesday, Wednesday, with more showers and storms Wednesday night into Thursday. Scattered storms into the holiday weekend and staying below average. Scattered showers and thunderstorms out there today. No severe weather expected. Temperatures, though, 15 to 20 degrees below normal into the low 70s. Well below normal overnight tonight. Rain wrapping up by about 8, leaving us partly cloudy and back into the mid-50s. We'll be dry and warmer Tuesday, Wednesday. More showers and storms Wednesday afternoon, overnight into Thursday. A few isolated showers into the holiday weekend, and temperatures remaining below average, upper 70s and low to mid-80s.
Well, in Consumer Watch tonight, millions of Americans can take a shot at winning Powerball's 10th largest jackpot in the game's history. An estimated $750 million is up for grabs, with the cash value of more than $336 million. Well, Bluebell is recalling some half-a-gallon batches of its Millennium Crunch ice cream, which was mistakenly packaged in chocolate chip cookie dough cartons, though with a Millennium Crunch labeled lid. According to an FDA alert, the packaging fails to alert consumers that the product contains almonds, walnuts, and pecans, which could cause severe or life-threatening reactions for people with nut allergies. The ice cream was distributed across 16 states. Anyone with the recalled product can return it to their place of purchase for a full refund. And Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters is believed to be the top film at the domestic box office. Now, that's according to industry insiders who say the Sony animated musical movie raked up to $18 million over the weekend. Netflix has a policy of not reporting ticket sales, but Weapons is still going strong after bringing in more than $15 million, followed by Freakier Friday with more than $9 million. And that's a look at Consumer Watch this morning. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are starting with a live look from downtown Pittsburgh, and you can see things looking pretty good so far, but rain is on the way. Some of us already getting that rain. Got a complete look at your forecast and birthdays and anniversaries right after this break. Time now is 6:42. Time now for some Monday birthdays and anniversaries in the 4 states, and we are going to start in Spring Hill, Kansas with Ember Heckert celebrating birthday number 1. Happy birthday.
And a happy 5th birthday to Bernlyn Midget in Columbus.
And in Fort Scott, Declan Hahn celebrating birthday number 6. Very happy birthday to you.
And a happy 10th birthday to Carter Edwards in Girard.
And back to Columbus for Isaac Johnson, celebrating number 16 today. Says happy birthday from your family.
And a happy 17th birthday to Connor Largent in Parsons.
And down to Joplin we head for Cole Lawrence, celebrating birthday number 20 today. Happy birthday, Cole.
And a happy 24th birthday to Jada Beckley in Pittsburgh.
And in Arma, Heather Tedlock celebrating birthday number 34 with love from Fisher.
And a happy 44th birthday to Blake Guffey.
And over in Pittsburgh, Tasha McCoy celebrating birthday number 47, says happy birthday, we love you.
And in Purcell, a happy 53rd birthday to Shelly Adams.
Okay, that was me in that picture. I ran into this young lady at Casey's in Joplin. I was taking a second. I was like, hold on. I think I remember this. Well, a very happy birthday to you, Shelly. Very happy birthday. We are continuing our list with Deanna Ferraro in Columbus, celebrating number 69. It says, happy birthday to the best Nana. We love you.
And in Baxter Springs, a happy 99th birthday to Dorothy Clark.
And in Galesburg, Fred and Dawn Robinson celebrating their 34th anniversary today. Very happy anniversary to the Robinsons.
And a happy birthday to Devin Nading in Oswego. It says, happy birthday, we love you.
And our list continues with our last name on the list, Danny O'Hara, our neighbor in Crestline, celebrating another year wiser and another great list of birthdays and anniversaries. They're always great. They always are. And if you would like to help keep them great, Elise has information you should jot down.
Yes, please submit your birthdays and your anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those wonderful photos and messages to, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen. To also, please include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
Very important information there. And we're going to start our morning once again with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got showers stretching back from from east to west as this continues to push off to the southeast. Got a new little shower here south of Jasper into Jasper County. A couple of sprinkles down here around the Grand Lake area, and then off to our north and west. This activity from Salina back toward Hayes and Hutchinson will continue to push off to the southeast as well, and eventually bring us more shower and thunderstorm chances. Now, our thunderstorm chances are low. The rain chances are up there. We're looking at good chances of rain, but only maybe a few rumbles of thunder. So don't be surprised if you hear some thunder, but not looking at anything severe, looking at anything too crazy. And again, really, it's mainly going to be a rain event with some rumbles of thunder. By noon on the future track, scattered shower storms continuing across the area. They'll gradually begin to come to an end from north to south. And so here's the deal. So here's 5 o'clock. Still got some cloud cover, a couple lingering sprinkles along 54 corridor. Those of you up north, we're going to say, let's take 160 and points north, may be a little warmer than those to the south because you'll get just that much more sunshine before the sun sets this evening, which could allow you to get closer to 74, maybe 75, where everybody else south of that is probably going to be a bit cooler. Showers, thunderstorms will begin to wrap up by about 8 this evening. And our Tuesday, we're looking at a bit more sunshine, partly cloudy skies, so that will allow us to warm. As I've said this morning, our average high is 89. When we get to the extended forecast, you're not going to find an average number anywhere on there except maybe some of our lows. But because we'll get a little more sunshine tomorrow, we'll be a little bit warmer than what we're expecting today. And that'll happen again Wednesday. So some different thinking on the future track. I'm going to show you this one. I'll show you the long range one, and you'll see the difference. This future track on the short term kind of shows rain holding off until the overnight hours. See, we go to 5. Just seeing increasing clouds, but dry. But I think we're going to start to, maybe as early as 4 or 5, start to see from the southwest some scattered showers, thunderstorms begin pushing in into the late evening hours instead of waiting until the overnight to move in. So we'll keep an eye on that. Again, nothing as severe as expected, but we do have some flooding concerns out there. But Wednesday, even if the rain does get here 4 or 5 o'clock, we'll spend most of the day sunny, or at least partly cloudy, which means we'll still be a bit warmer on Wednesday, but still not near average. So scattered showers, few rumbles of thunder to start our day, mid-60s by 8. Take a look at these temperatures and how little they move. We're going to be about 69 by 11 a.m. And then look at the high temperatures. low 70s. And I think most of us should at least make the low 70s. Again, 160 north might make low mid 70s. If you are south of, say, I-44, because of the rain hanging on a little bit longer down there, the cloud cover, you may be a little cooler. Highs only into the upper 60s. That's going to put you, again, upwards of 20 degrees below normal. For the last week of August, upper 60s, that ain't bad. And we're getting some rain because we are seeing some slight drought conditions building in as we head into parts of southern Missouri. So this rain will certainly help. Overnight tonight, again, rain wraps up by 8, mid-50s out there. East breeze around 5 to 10. And here's what I wanted to show you quickly on the long-range feature track. See, it's even got some as early as noon. I think that's a little too early. But I think by at least the evening hours, we'll start to see some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms pushing in. And Thursday, we are watching for the possibility of heavy rain. No flood watches yet, but it is something we've got to monitor very closely as we get closer to Thursday with some of that heavy rain potential. That's a quick look at your forecast. We'll have one more look at your forecast and your wake up recap here in just a moment. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., the FDA has extended its recall on that radioactive frozen shrimp. Are the 4 states at risk? We'll have the answer at 7.
Well, this is your wake up recap for August 25th. The top stories to start your day. Downtown Kansas City becomes a crime scene as multiple shootings claim 2 lives and injure 3 others. The Sunday morning violence prompts a major police response, but no arrests have been made. In Newton County, officials respond to a crash when a U-Haul failed to clear a train overpass. The impact crushed the truck's top and trigger safety protocols that halt train traffic for bridge inspections. The driver avoided serious injury in the high-speed collision. And Saturation Saturday puts extra officers on the road to catch drunk drivers before the Labor Day holiday weekend. The Mothers Against Drunk Driving Partnership aims to raise awareness and save lives. That's Check Up today's Wake Up Recap.
And we've got scattered showers and even a few rumbles of thunder out there this morning, and that will continue through today. I will be into the upper 60s by noon. Take a look at this, low 70s for our highs. Some of you may only make the upper 60s with the rain and cloud cover, so about 20 degrees below normal. Rain should wrap up by 8 this evening, low 60s by 10, average low upper 60s, so we're still another almost 15 degrees below normal for our lows, into the mid 50s out there. Temperatures, though, looking not too bad over the next little while. We're going to stay below normal for the foreseeable future. We get close. We should be in the upper 80s. By next week, we get close, just not quite there. Still watching the potential for some flooding concerns on Thursday with more storms Wednesday night into Thursday. Scattered showers this holiday weekend, so don't cancel your plans. Just be prepared to move in out of the rain if you're barbecuing or doing anything outside. Otherwise, just great temperatures. A nice trial of fall here.
Well, coming up today at noon, we're making pepperoni pizza chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Tony DeCopel and Nate Burleson show what goes into being part of the ball crew at tennis's U.S. Open and if they have what it takes to make the squad.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14. This morning we hear how the Wheels and Wings Car Show and Fly-In help support area veterans.
Plus, we're going to look at the wedding expo that took place over the weekend in Joplin. I did not need to go. I don't have any need for any bridal stuff. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We will be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.